It's time for Dart Talk. Brought to you by thedartzone.com. Stay in the zone. Thedartzone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and Windy City Fabricators, America's premier fabricators of orthotics and prosthetics. And Redwood Darts, America's newest tungsten darts. Stand straight and tall and hit them all. Redwood Darts. And now, here are your hosts, Mystery Mark and Steve P.
Okay, welcome to Dart Talk.
Welcome.
July
again. Finally. Something.
Guess
July 2nd.
July 2nd, 2014, and guess what today is?
I don't know. What other than Wednesday?
Well, I mean, I'm not, real sentimental with anniversaries and everything, but I am starting my 4th year
Oh, as of
doing
today?
this show.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it was June 30th it was June 23rd we did a half-hour show.
Yeah.
And then June 30th we did our first hour show.
Okay.
So I was actually going to try to get one of the people that did the first show on today,
right.
just to kind of say hi. And then I couldn't remember who was on the show. It was that
4 years
that
ago.
far. It was that far back. So, and then you're going to
All
start
right,
your
that's kinda
4th year in January.
January, right.
Hard to believe.
I can't believe I've been doing this 3.5 years.
Disclaim everything. Hurry.
The views, opinions, rants, and rampages expressed on Dart Talk do not necessarily reflect individually or collectively those of our sponsors, co-sponsors, wannabe hosts, hearing-impaired critics, or those with a penchant for attitudinal dysfunction. We at Dart Talk strive to provide you, the listener, with an educational, entertaining, and fun-filled experience each and every week. If after the show you, the listener, find yourself feeling uneducated, unentertained, and or bored, we at Dart Talk consider that your own problem.
And wish you luck with that.
Yep, absolutely.
We have big show.
Show.
We have breaking news.
Oh, we do.
We have
Good.
live guests. And I want to talk about the World Cup as it relates to darts.
Okay.
So that'll be like kind of
It's a different sport.
We're going to meander into some logical, kind of like
Comparisons?
pathways there. Well,
Yeah.
I think that there's some lessons that we can learn. So I was listening to these guys. I should never listen to sports talk radio, but sometimes you have no choice. You're stuck in traffic. And I'm listening to these guys, and I'm like, wow, every word out of their mouth proves they're overpaid. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say what channel they were on.
Right.
But so we have
How do you know how much they're getting paid?
If they're getting paid anything at all, they're overpaid is kind of my what I'm saying there. Stephanie Mincey's going to join us in the second half of the hour. She is directing the Caribbean Cup in Tampa, Florida. That's coming up. We're going to talk about that. Real exciting tournament they have. An international tournament in Tampa. Like the Buffalo guys last week, they're getting the city behind them and stuff. They've got local media coverage. It's going to be really totally cool. So they're going to stream it, stuff like that. It's going to be awesome.
Was Phil on your first show?
Phil who? He might, Phil Freed might have been the first guy to play Best of 7.
That's what he just said.
Was he? Okay.
He did the trivia thing.
And I'm pretty sure it was DJ Sayer. I can't remember now.
So, well, at least one of your first guests is in the chat room, though, so how about that?
Well, Phil was on one of the first 2 shows. I just don't remember. I thought it was DJ Sayer was the first guy, but I don't remember. I would. Somebody go in the archive and look. Go to the website, darttalk.us. Look at the audio archive. Go all the way to the bottom and see who was on there, because I didn't have time to look. So Stephanie Mincey's going to join us in the second half of the show. I'm going to talk about the Caribbean Cup and the America's Cup that they're having in Tampa, Florida, later in July. We have breaking news on the PCS. We'll get to that as well.
That's still going?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it didn't go away.
We haven't talked about it in a
No.
while.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to talk about that. But we have the B.A.D.L boys are waiting in the wings.
Yes.
And they've added to their crew. So we were kind of like, because originally I told Aaron Broom, I'm like, yeah, come on the show, tell us how it went. And apparently it went so well The whole team
they've all
is
come
on for a victory
yes.
lap, which I think is very cool. So we have Aaron Broom is on the phone.
Yes,
but,
and in the chat.
And in the chat. So if you guys want to chat with Aaron or if you have questions for him, I assume he'll stay on through the whole show. But we also have Owen Stewart, who was on last week, and Lance Friedman, who was on last week, and they're joined by Kevin Lee and Doug Bohm, who are the victorious marathon two-man team guys.
Right.
That set the Guinness World Record for the longest doubles
consecutive
match.
501.
We'll have to ask exactly what the category is. Can you hear us, guys?
Yes. Yep.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show for some of you. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations that you're awake.
I don't see any bandages. I don't see crutches. I guess physically it wasn't so bad.
No. It was more mental than anything.
It was more mental than anything else. Well, you guys kind of said that last week, and I believe it was Lance was saying that he was going to curmudgeon his way through it, and tell us how that went. Yeah, tell us how that went, Lance.
And he did.
It went pretty good until about hour 20, 21. My back locked up. I had an injury this past winter that I was hospitalized for, and I didn't give it enough credit, and so I locked up. Fortunately, I was able to get through it. These guys were really concerned for me. I found out after the fact they were considering actually stopping the effort, and I'm glad they didn't, because I did manage to soldier through, and it all worked out great.
Did they roll you to the line and you threw out laying on the floor?
They basically kicked me repeatedly.
Get up.
Okay, well, I only have one complaint, and that was that we actually weren't able to watch it. What was the deal with the stream? Who wants to fall on their sword for that one?
Aaron?
You've been nominated.
Yeah, right. It seemed like there was a limited number of people that could connect to the stream at one time. I know we had it running on one guy's iPad in the bar, and then there were a couple of people that occasionally said that they were able to connect. I know that on the very limited times that I was home at like 4 or 5 in the morning, I was able to pop on and see them. But I think there was a limited number of people that were able to connect at one time. We did have some people from Minnesota and Chicago and California, and there was one person that told me they were out camping and they connected on their iPod. So at some point in time, there were people that were able to get connected.
Okay, so where are we? Okay, I don't know where that is coming from. Did you do something?
I didn't do
I
a
see
thing.
you hovering over your keyboard.
I was getting ready to type
something. It's probably
something.
a bad Skype connection. So let me ask you this: where are we with the Guinness people?
Go ahead.
Anybody?
What we've actually got to do is we've got to finish collating all the various verification data, the witness statements, the video data. We have to collate where the 180s occur in the video stream, and then make a submission to Guinness. We're hoping to do that within probably the next 10 days. The average time seems to be about 6 weeks for Guinness to actually come back and either anoint you or not.
Okay, so because you guys didn't want to shell out the $7,000 to have one of them over there to
Pikers,
do all this,
aren't we?
you have to do it yourself?
Yeah.
So what? You have to give them a time code for where every 180 is in 48 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we should ask you this: What was the final clock? How many hours did you guys actually go?
Again, that's going to be dependent upon Guinness. We're somewhere in the 43.5 hour range. We did not achieve our goal. We beat the old record by about 2.5 hours, as far as we can tell.
Okay, and what brought an end to it? Pain, suffering,
sanity.
You still had a little bit of sanity left?
We discussed about 10 hours before what time we thought that we would end, and we decided that we should probably decide that when we got past the record and maybe had clearer heads, but clearer heads 10 hours later at hour 43 was not really there. So we basically threw out a number and didn't agree on that and decided that it was it.
Did you guys sleep at all?
We slept for about close to an hour. We banked some breaks.
We did an hour and a half break and probably only got shut-eye for about 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went straight through except for the hour and a half?
Yeah, we took, I think it was like 6 bathroom breaks, lasting 3 minutes each time.
Okay. Well, I've got some notes here from our little pre-show fist fight. You guys are basically saying you played about 8.5 games an hour? Is that what it averaged out to?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
And you're looking at 361 total games and about 23,680 darts, give or take, missed doubles or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
So
23,000 darts.
How many sets of flights did you go through?
Not as many as you'd think.
Yeah, I had 2 sets that I was sort of bouncing back and forth with, and I busted 3 shafts. That was it.
They were so tired they couldn't throw the darts in a grouping. They were so far apart from each other they weren't hitting flight.
Don't tell me that you broke carbon fiber shafts.
No,
the poly hard.
So you're using the typewriters? Okay. That's what I call them. The old-fashioned setup with the little, cheap little nylon flights and the little stems and stuff. I call them typewriters because they're old-fashioned. But a lot of people use them. A lot of people like them. So I'm not. It wasn't a slam,
And we did break their 180 record. They only had 180 throughout their run.
One?
And and Doug had 5. I had 1, so we had a total of 6.
Well, and I'd like to say I did mine with 3 different setups.
And what about the other 2 guys? Just kidding, guys.
Kevin.
We warned you about that last week. Don't even start.
Kevin shot a 171.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah, and I had 3 171s. I had to go 19s. My arm was tired.
Yeah, I mean, I wondered if you guys would start going to the 19s fairly early, just because it's a little easier to kind of drive them down.
I did personally. Doug stayed mostly on the 20s though.
And
I got my last 180 at, what was it, 40, almost 45 hours.
44 hours and 52 minutes, Doug got his last 180.
That time sounds a little weird because there's an event clock that counts in the break times also. Yeah. So that was at 44, almost 45 hours into the total event.
Okay, what was the total file size when you were done of the video?
What did they say? I thought I think our video guy said 168 gigs.
168 gig for 48 hours. Wow. That's
Did you throw left-handed at all?
Oh, yeah. I probably threw about maybe 6 hours left-handed.
Actually, I never switched.
That's why his back locked up.
My goal was to hit a 180 left-handed, and I fell third dart short
he was
twice.
so close. He was so close.
I mean,
and he did have a shot at the 170 out, but the bull was terrorizing us for 45 hours.
Oh, you mean trying to hit the double bull on the finish?
Yeah, we have on bull finishes. We could not hit a bull.
Until hour 45.
I wish I could relate to the fatigue of playing 45 straight hours, but you lost me about 40 hours ago. So basically, you guys are thinking you average somewhere between about 47 to 50 points a round, which I think is pretty good for a marathon like that.
Right.
Yeah. There was peaks and valleys of Doug would go on a run of finishing like 10 games, and then Kevin would finish 7, and then Lance would finish 10, and then I would finish 10. So there were lots of peaks and valleys.
Was anybody getting on your nerves? Was Lance kept leaving you on tops when you were tired or something, and then you're splitting it, throwing a fat 8 or something? Or?
Well,
the spectators, they were the.
You got some of us at times got focused on just hitting points. That at moments we didn't realize that we were at a double.
Right. Who would that be, Owen? Who would that be?
So how
that was my partner.
You mentioned the crowd. What was the crowd like?
Boisterous.
Depending on the time.
Yeah, depending on the time.
We did not get the turnout for the entire event that we hoped, but Friday night and Saturday night were both pretty well attended.
Yeah, I think that's good. Normally, the Sunday, every tournament drops off, 50%, 33%. I mean, a lot of people, they've done Friday and Saturday, and they still have to, deal with stuff on Sunday for their lives and stuff. So I think that's pretty normal.
Do you have an idea how much you guys raised?
Aaron, any idea on that?
I know that as far as what we put into it for cost and all that, we more than broke even. So we've definitely got some money that's going to CF, and I think that was really the main goal, is to make sure that we had something that we give to them.
I've got some donations coming in too, so
we've got the website still up for anybody that still wants to donate.
And that's WNYBADL.com. I saw a bunch of PayPal stuff up there, which is, I thought that was nice. Any weird kind of funny things that you guys took away from the whole experience?
Yeah, anytime Mike throws, you want to make sure that you're chalking quick, because there were a handful of times where he would get bounce outs and they would miss Lance by about inches.
Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin, rather.
Yeah.
Mike.
And Kevin,
the ghost player.
Kevin actually started as a right-hander, but he finished as a left-hander.
Did you guys chalk your own?
Yes.
Most of the time. We have chalkers for maybe an hour total, hour and a half total.
Wow.
Chalk and walk. You know what's funny that you mentioned that, because the witnesses commented after 4 hours they were having trouble doing the math, and after 40 hours we're still doing it fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you just throw tons, the math is really easy. 501, 401, 301, 201.
Yeah.
So are you guys gonna do it again? Go ahead.
I talked into it.
It wouldn't be this year for sure, or next year.
Oh, so no next year?
Wait a minute.
Well, we were sort of hemming and hawing that if anybody wants to try a record, then we have the know-how and the background now to set them all up before they even attempt it. So if they want to contact us and come here to Buffalo to do it, we would be more than happy to help them out.
So you'll become the hosts and then host somebody trying to break your record.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. Now, there were a couple of other records that may or may not have been broken. I wasn't real clear on that. You guys want to fill me in on that?
The paperwork. So most bowls in 1 minute, Mike Gloss hit 12. And then highest dart score, in or outer bowl in 2 minutes, it was Mike Gloss and Justin Burdett. I've got an unofficial score of 575. The previous record was 475. So 2 records were broken.
575, so that's 10, 11, 13 bowls in 2 minutes by 2 guys? Yeah. Counting, in or outer?
Yep.
13 total. That's pretty. 2 minutes? 13?
Yeah.
Think you could do that?
No. I can't hit 13 bullseyes in 2 hours.
Yes. All right. So what? And so how is it the same process where you're going to write something up on all that stuff and submit it to Guinness? Is that how it works?
Aaron.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the chat room. What?
Yes, it's the same process. We have to submit the evidence, the paperwork. There's slightly less onerous witness statements and things like that, but still.
Yeah, that was videotaped as far as I know. They had to introduce themselves, say what they were going for, and then attempt it. So It's all on videotape.
Awesome. Well, by all means, thanks for coming on the show. Make sure you update us when it's finally all official, how it all transpired. I'm really proud of you guys. I mean, I really can't believe I didn't think you were going to do it. I really didn't think so. I mean, I just thought at some point you'd get bored.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Excuse me. That was
hour 2. Hour 2, right.
Hour 2.
Actually, the first hour was probably the toughest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Don't know.
It dragged. I honestly, we've been playing for a while, and I'm like, wow, that's the first hour. And I looked, and it had been literally 11 minutes. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it just felt like 2 hours, It was,
the mind.
What did you feel at hour 30?
Well, I think some of us were hallucinating, to be honest with you.
I thought literally that we had moved from the second floor into a basement. My whole perception had completely changed. That's actually what sort of led us to our first half-hour break.
And after we took our little nap, that was a mistake for me because I woke up and I was in a complete dream state. I lost subtraction. I couldn't subtract anymore. Took a long time.
I think it did him good. He finally realized what was going on for the past 36 hours.
And I felt like I was in a tunnel for about 4 hours.
I just have in my mind like this picture of like when they put astronauts and they suck out the air to, like at high altitude. It's hypoxia or something.
That was pretty close.
It was weird. You were completely aware of what was going on, but your mind was sort of doing what it wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll round up like 4 paramedics that are used to being sleep deprived and see how they do.
Yeah, there you go.
They used to play a lot of darts. I mean, in Chicago, the firefighters like basically had their own team at one point.
Mm-hmm.
The cops had a team. The firefighters had a team. I mean, I don't know where all those guys went. But anyway, all right. Well, we'll be in touch. Thanks again for coming on the show, and congratulations. I think everybody should be really proud of you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, take
Congrats,
care.
guys.
That was
That
was the B.A.D.L Boys, the Buffalo area dart league guys.
Yep.
Western, or let's see, WNY B.A.D.L. If you want to make a donation to cystic fibrosis that these guys were trying to raise money for. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. You'll enjoy the graphic for this commercial. And if you don't know what it is in the chat room, by all means ask, and Mark will fill you in. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mystery Mark, Steve Pronuncialman. Lot to get to, and we'll be right back.
The views and opinions expressed on Dart Talk are those of the hosts. They in no way should be misrepresented, misinterpreted, or made to claim that the universe is against you, your family, your city, or the darting community at large.
Okay, back for the second quarter of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts and our previous guests, the B.A.D.L Boys. We had fun with them last week.
For them.
What'd you think of that?
Well, I think they're exhausted. But I think they had fun with it. Sounds like they had fun with it, and they accomplished it, so...
Yeah, well, good for them. I mean, the looks on their faces, though, I mean, I'm kind of... I don't think they want to do it again.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, they'll be happy to run it for you.
If somebody breaks their record, I don't know if they'll be too willing to go try and beat it again.
I don't know. The guy's back locks up at like the 21-hour mark, and he goes for another 24 hours. I mean,
yeah,
that's rough. It's rough to throw darts with your back getting tight. My back would get tight chalking. Right, I would literally...
Oh, it'd be worse chalking.
Yeah.
You're just standing there.
Yeah, and you know, the PDC, you know, you have to wear street shoes. And I asked them one time, I'm like, my back locks up. Can I take my shoes off when I chalk? And they said no.
Right.
And I was like, man, first you won't let me wear the shoes I want to wear. And now you're saying I got to chalk in these things. I mean, at some point, common sense has to rule the day, although the PDC's kind of lightened up on that stuff, right? I mean, people are making fun. Phil Taylor had these, like, white stripes on his shoes, and then, I don't know, people post, I don't know if it's true or not. They're orthopedic, so he got dispensation to wear shoes with
really?
white. I'm like, get them Sharpie and just color the white and be done with it. They look stupid. Anyway, there's some PDC news in the crawl there if you guys want to see who won Gibraltar. James Wade won a tournament. First tournament I think he's won in 3 years, and played really well from all reports. So good for him. He's an odd guy, because they basically disinvited him to the Premier League and stuff.
Oh, really?
And then haven't really heard much from him.
Right.
So also in the crawl, you guys, I have the draw for the World Match Play in Blackpool.
Oh.
It's always one of my favorite events. I think Taylor's won every one since 2007 or something.
Nice.
I don't think he's going to win this one. So we'll see. I mean, I think Van Gerwen's by far the betting favorite on that one.
You would think so.
So real quick, well, not real quick. I mean, take your time. How was League last night?
It was all right. I had to play my sister, so that was fun.
Beating on your sister?
Yeah.
How
she was not able to beat me, but
do you treat that any differently? Does that match have any kind of different feel compared to playing somebody else?
No, a little bit, because I know how badly she wants to beat me, as opposed to it's like 10 times more than just playing an opponent. I think she just
because she's gunning for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She just wants because I honestly don't know if she ever has. She hasn't beat me since like we were 9, and she beat the crap out of me.
Okay. Like with a baseball bat?
Yeah, with her fist or something.
Oh, nice.
She's older than me, so she was like 10 and a half, and I was 9, and that's when she used to beat me up.
Yeah, I had a big sister like that. I turned the tables on her one day, and that was the end of it.
Right. So now, but when it comes to darts, so anyway, she's on the other team, and I was able to. They didn't even do it on purpose. It just kind of happened that we played each other in the 501 singles, and
best of 3, mugs away, diddle to start.
Yeah. So it was fun. She didn't play poorly. I just beat her, and
thought you'd mention that on the show.
Right.
She does listen to the show.
Well, no, I thought I'd mention it because you brought it up, so I didn't have a choice.
How League went because I actually went and hung out. And here's the thing. I mean, I was in Cleveland Thursday night, and I went to and you could see in the background I took a picture of their dart bar. It was kind of a nice setup. HQs and east side of Cleveland, north of the airport, north of where they have the tournament, like 5-10 minutes, whatever it was. Nice setup, nice people. Not a very good picture. I'm not a professional photographer, but it was interesting. They had a draw league where the best players are captains, and then you kind of not a draw league, a draft league.
Okay.
Where they drafted people, so they had teams of people with like different ability and stuff like that. And I found it interesting the way their league approaches darts compared to
our league.
Yeah, I mean, not that. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, going to league and actually not playing and just sitting there and watching is sort of the equivalent of going to a bar and just being sober and watching everyone
and everybody
drink.
else is drinking.
It's just it's a whole different way of looking at things. And I wonder if, like, tournament staff people.
Is it as annoying as being the only
thing.
sober person in a bar?
Well, it's annoying. I mean, at some point, when guys are playing best of 3, 301, and it's taken a half hour and they're not done, you kind of wonder, geez, what's the deal, guys? I mean, try warming up maybe. I don't know.
Try hitting a double?
Well. You can, doubles are funny. I mean, you can be on the wire all day long.
What was
I've
the
been
caliber
on the wire
of
for
play?
Entire tournaments for your match?
For their league.
It kind of varied. I mean, they had but what I thought was really cool is that everybody was into it and everybody was like trying to throw their best. And they were competitive, but they were quiet. It wasn't like a real boisterous kind of. There wasn't a lot of joshing and stuff. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was kind of interesting. Maybe because there was an outsider there. They were kind of behaved differently. I mean,
maybe.
It's the old thing about scientific observation. The minute you observe it, you change the thing you're observing, kind of thing. So I mean, I don't know. I thought everybody was really nice. They treated me nice. I mean, that was cool. But I will say this, and here's the thing about Cleveland that is so different from Chicago. They have this thing, and I tried to get one of the Cleveland guys to come on and talk about it because I thought it was like a really cool concept. They call it like the Gold Dollar Club, but actually what they should call it is the Sacagawea. Ever see those remember the
coins?
Yeah, the coins.
Yeah.
They're dollar coins in some odd shape, and they're gold tinted. I mean, obviously they're not gold, and it's Sacagawea as an Indian. Right. So here's what they do, and I think Perry Prine started this. What you do is, because he was saying, the whole thing about, playing for money, sometimes, with friends there's hard feelings and stuff like that. So what they decided to do was play for these gold Sacagawea dollars. And you have to beat somebody out of one of those dollars to join their club. And they have like a little Facebook page of all their members.
Really?
And you're kind of joshing each other about, well, yeah, the easy way to get in is just play that guy.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to carry these dollars around, and if somebody challenges you, you cannot say no.
Yeah, you have to have one on hand.
And I was like, well, now this is kind of an interesting, kind of fun way to kind of like, get competitive with people and challenge somebody to a game and, try to beat somebody where you're taking it seriously. It's like the same thing, like, it's always good to play for something. People like to play for beers or whatever, play $1 a leg, $1/4 a leg, just something where you're keeping score and it makes you pay a little more attention than if you're just kind of playing leg after leg and, who cares what happens? It doesn't count, la-di-da-di-da.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's good to play for something. But this gold dollar thing seemed like a really good solution because you're playing for something that it's tangible.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, if you take a gold dollar off this guy and a gold dollar off that guy and a gold dollar off that guy, you keep all your gold dollars, and then at some point
somebody's going to come back after you for try and win one. Now, do you have to put one up as a challenge, or it's you only?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to have a gold dollar to play. I mean, so somebody's got to go like to the bank, or I don't. Where do you get these things? I mean,
well, that's what I'm
know.
saying. I mean, yeah. So, but even the challenger has to have a gold dollar.
Well, yeah, you're playing for a gold dollar. So if you don't, how can you play if you don't have a gold dollar? I mean, they may kind of like bend the rules. I mean,
Well, sure.
It's a casual thing. But don't you think that's kind of a cool thing to do?
Yeah.
Can you imagine like guys doing it on the road, like the touring guys?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you got a gold dollar? Let's play.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, and I
that would be
should have asked
cool.
them, are you just playing one leg, or is it best of this, best of that? It just seemed like a really kind of friendly, competitive way to do things. Like we've talked about, having a ladder in the bar and stuff like that, and it doesn't really work if you've got somebody who's like kind of spends way more time playing darts than the other people, and then you start ranking them, and then you got to segregate them, and it's no fair if he plays, and all this other. That attitude that we get in Chicago doesn't seem to appear in other places where people are interested in playing darts and they're interested in getting better and they enjoy the competition and they enjoy the bragging rights they would get for taking down a big name. Some guy at the end of the night challenged me to I just want to play you, man. I'm like, well, why? He's like, 'cause you said something about Cleveland. And I'm like, really? So he wanted to defend the honor of his town, which, okay, I get that. I'll play you, but what did I say?
Yeah, right.
And he couldn't really remember, and I'm like, all I said about Cleveland people is they don't really travel. They don't go to other tournaments
This
much.
has upset him.
Well, it upset a couple of other people, too. I mean, I heard about it. I said this like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, whatever. And I talked to one of the guys that was down in Nashville about it, and
I probably badmouth Cleveland more than that.
Why? Cleveland, I drove around. I mean, Cleveland's kind of a nice, like North Olmsted and stuff, where my aunt was living. It was pretty cool. Had like some terrain, lots of trees, clean roads. I mean, I don't know. It's a city like any other.
Right.
I mean, I think the vast majority of darters don't live in cities. Like
no,
cities,
probably not.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know that they really understand, kind of the city thing. But where I went in Cleveland, I mean, it was in the city. So I was, like, right at home. I was like, oh, this is cool, Park right there and la-di-da-di-da.
Yeah, right.
And they do one other thing in Cleveland. I was talking to Susan Rosano about it. The way they run their draws, the way they run their blind draws is it's a very inexpensive buy-in. I think it's like $5 or something. But they have, like, 5 of them a week. And what they do is they have a singles draw followed by a doubles draw.
Okay.
Right? Which I think is great, especially when you're not getting 30 or 40 people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're getting 10, 12 people, you could do a singles draw. Everybody hangs around, and then you play a doubles draw. But they keep track of how many rounds you win, and you get points for how many rounds you win. And when you get a certain number of points, the Cleveland Darter Club will give you money to go to a tournament. They'll give you airfare, hotel, entry fees, whatever.
All right.
And I'm like, well, I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
To reward the people that are out there playing competitively as often as they can to get some sort of tangible reward that helps them advance or helps them progress in their darting career, I think is great.
Right.
Whereas, what do we do here? I mean,
just play.
Yeah, and nobody it's always, the same. It's boring. It's always the same people. It's always the same format.
Which that's encouragement to go to the blind draws too, though, because there's something at the end of the line.
Well, yeah. So I mean, you're getting people to come out. I mean, I don't know how many people can play 5 nights a week, but
yeah, but you don't have to.
Well, no.
That's
right. I mean, if you win once a week, I think that's you get your points at some point. But it just seemed like maybe that's better for the game than to just have somebody take some money in their pocket and go home.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you still win some money.
Exactly.
If you win the draw, okay, it's a free night and you earned your points for a tournament. I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to somebody about it here, and I'm like, I don't think it would work here. Like, because the people that are going out to draws just want to have a good time. They're not interested really in going to tournaments. They're not interested in real competition. They don't want to play singles. Everybody just wants to kind of like, let's just go play. I don't want to work at it.
It's too recreational for them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Chicago has lost all the competitive darters. I mean, I'm sure that they're out there. I just don't know where they are.
Right.
I mean, I don't see them really anywhere. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's sad. But the way they do it in Cleveland, they're constant. What they do fosters competition.
Yes, exactly.
They're encouraging people to play. And, there's something at the end of the line. It's not $1 million or anything. It's not like, life-changing income like, winning the PDC championship or something.
Right.
But, it's something, and it seems to work. They had a lot of women playing in this draft league and stuff. I thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd share that with everybody. So was
the Gold Coin Challenge one leg, or was it?
I don't know if it was one leg or best of something. I can't remember.
Okay,
but I was gonna have one of the Cleveland guys come and explain it. We'll get him on the show at some other point. We'll get Perry on the show. Perry was telling me he's got the Guinness record for most bullseyes one guy's thrown in 10 hours, like 1,400 or something.
Oh, my God.
Well, I did the math, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It was like, I don't know, 3 a minute or 4 a minute.
Yeah, you still have to throw for 10 hours.
I don't know. When I first started playing, I threw for 10 hours, and I didn't even notice, the time was gone.
Right.
All of a sudden, it'd be like, oh, wow, you're closing? What the heck? But, yeah, after a while, it gets... like those guys were funny.
Yeah.
The first hour, I thought an hour went by. It was 11 minutes, and I'm like, well, then 48 hours is going to feel like a lifetime.
Oh, God.
So that was kind of interesting. We're going to take a break and get Stephanie Mincey on the show. So it might be a little bit of a longer break than we've had before. But we will be right back. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mystery Mark, Steve Ponce-Elman, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
How do you turn that off?
There's a little camera thing in the bottom.
Good?
Okay. Just hang tight. We'll be going live in about a minute.
Okay. My sound okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
All right.
fairly its prisoners in their war against. Dart Talk agrees to adhere to the Geneva Convention in treating fairly its prisoners in their war against lackluster darting administration and behaviour.
Okay, back for the second half of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks. Windy City Fabricators, Redwood Darts. Sorry if I'm a little hoarse.
Yeah, I thought I was ready, and I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. As a sound engineer, you're a good dart player.
I didn't have the sound on.
I thought that was interesting. I keep thinking, the guy threw a 1080 after 45 hours. He almost threw one left-handed. I'm like, probably a pretty good player. There's another guy that needs to get out on the road a little more. Speaking of getting out on the road, we haven't had a tournament director on in a while. So I got us Stephanie Mincey, and she's going to tell us. I talked to her a little bit on the phone, and my eyes started glazing over with the stuff that you have to do to put on a tournament is most people, and we've had tournament directors on the show before, and we'll get Stephanie talking about what it takes to put on a first-class tournament, and she could tell us about the Caribbean Cup because it's something special that hasn't been in America in quite some time.
Okay.
So let's get Stephanie on here. Stephanie, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Just speak up a little bit. How are you?
I'm doing well. Almost over with my cold.
Oh, I must have caught it when we were on the phone the other night.
I just got rid of one of them.
Mark, say hi to Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Mark.
So, Stephanie, tell us about the Caribbean Cup. First off, tell us what it is.
The Caribbean Cup is an international event that uses member countries from the Caribbean, and Team Florida was.
Whoops. Okay.
We
Something
lost
about Team Florida. Okay, maybe we'll. She might have a bad Skype connection. Basically, they have the America's Cup, which is basically teams from North America.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, it's trying to get her back. Teams from North America. So, Canada shows up, the USA shows up. The USA and Canada, I think USA's won 5 of the last 6.
Oh, okay.
And but what they do is after that's over, they have a Caribbean Cup where Florida sends a team of men, women, and Utes. They got Utes. And they play like, let's see, I think it's 2 days of round robin. Then they take a day off, and then on the weekend they do the finals and stuff like that, or quarters, semis.
Really?
Yeah. And it's quite a interesting collection, but it hasn't. It's the 30th year that they've had this. So apparently, I think it's a guy in the Bahamas started it, and because Florida's and she's saying Caribbean and I'm saying Caribbean.
I know.
We're gonna have to.
I wasn't gonna point that out.
Well,
tomato.
Is it tomato?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the idea, I think, is pretty cool. It makes me jealous I don't live in Florida.
Yeah.
But Florida's one of these states that, they're all the Florida dart leagues are kind of interconnected. I know, I think North Carolina is like that. Like the tri-state area, they do a lot of stuff together. But Florida really has kind of like a state organization that everybody kind of, all the individual leagues deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they're able to get a state team
to go to the
to
Caribbean
represent
Cup.
Florida in the Caribbean Cup, and they've got a pretty good team. They Kelly Mears is on it, Mark Mears, Gary Mawson, Norman Maddow, Sheldon Lionel. All the tournament players kind of know these names. Paula Murphy's playing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be very tough. And I didn't have time to look at the results of the last Caribbean Cup.
How many teams are in the Cup?
Quite a few. They've got the Bahamas. They've got Jamaica. And there's actually some countries, I don't even know what they are. I think Belize has a team. Brazil has a team.
Really?
Remember Brazil? The guy said that dartboards cost like $300. They're sending these huge teams. They're sending like, 8, 9, 10 people. And because it's in conjunction with another event, I think they're going to be in Florida for like a couple of weeks. So it's a really big thing because the World Dart Federation is also holding – first they hold the World Dart Federation America's Cup, right? And then after that's done, I think they wait a day, and then they have the Caribbean Cup.
Okay.
So all the Caribbean teams are basically they're going to play 2 events.
Yeah.
The Canadians have to shove off. Well, because they're not in the Caribbean or the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a problem with Stephanie's internet, so we may not be able to get her back. Yeah,
well, that's too bad.
Well, yeah, that is too bad. I mean, I can't do anything, during the show.
Right.
I don't know if it's on our end or her end. I mean, but
my guess would be her end.
Yeah, I'm guessing because we had the other guys on and they had no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's got kind of weak wireless or something like that. We'll get her on. We'll get her on next week if we can't get her back. But as far as
sounds fun.
Well, yeah. As far as the America's Cup go, I looked at some of the results, and the Americans seem to have dominated this one. Stephanie, are you with us?
Yes, we had a power surge.
Oh,
really?
Yes. I guess there's been some bad weather, so who knows?
Okay, yeah, we had some bad weather rolling through here.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with her on the balcony because I get better reception on the balcony.
Of course.
When we had that bad weather and the Sox got rained out.
Right.
And there was literally a flash of lightning that literally must have hit in the park about 600 yards from the balcony. And then I swear to God, the light or the thunder that followed it
was
rattled
huge.
my ears and scared me. Like I literally jumped. Okay.
Higher than the cat?
Pretty much. Well, I've got hops even at this age. I can jump.
And
I
your
just
cats
can't
do
land.
not.
Not one of them. One of them likes to stay close to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them, is different. Anyway, we're babbling on here, Stephanie. I was trying to tell everybody about the America's Cup and is it Caribbean or Caribbean now? I forget.
I say Caribbean, but I have heard it both ways. So,
okay.
But pretty much anyone I've spoken to does say it's the Caribbean Cup.
Okay. Offhand, do you know how many countries are participating?
10 countries will participate in the America's Cup, and 9 countries will participate in the Caribbean Cup.
Okay, and do you know the 8 other countries in the Caribbean Cup? I mentioned Brazil, Jamaica, and Barbados, and Belize. Any other countries that begin with a B?
Yes. And also what's really cool is on our Caribbean Darts page on Facebook, I just uploaded our program, and there everyone can see who the players are, who the list of sponsors are, and some ads. We also sold quite a few marketing boards. So I will be taking photos of those once they're posted on the boards.
I will. I have to crop the photo you sent me. The board looked really, really cool. They have these designer boards with the Cosmo Darts logo. Cosmo's one of the sponsors, one of the big sponsors of the tournament. The boards look great. I just have to crop out the easy chair that it was propped up on. So I didn't have time to do that today. No, the boards look really good. I looked through the program. I was kind of surprised. It looks like we're outnumbered. Like the other teams are sending way more people than we are.
Well, I'll explain this. For the America's Cup, Team Canada and Team USA can only participate in that event. And then Team Florida can only participate in the Caribbean Cup. Sure. But the remainder of the countries, they can participate in both. Therefore, they can bring players that can play in either event, because some might want to only stay for the weekend, some stay for the entire duration of the event. And some countries are bringing youth this time as well, since the Caribbean Cup's having their first youth event.
And we were talking, you said this is the first time, I think, that we've had this in America, or is it the first time in 10 years or something like that?
Yes, the last time it was hosted in Florida was 2004 down in Fort Lauderdale.
Down in Fort Lauderdale. So
is that by design, or is it just that, does it rotate?
Yes.
So every 10 years you're going to do it, or?
Well, this is my first time working with it, so I'm going from the knowledge and information I've learned over the time. But basically, they meet at every event, and they discuss amongst the countries, and then they decide where they're going to have it the next 2 years.
I think 2 years ago it was in Belize.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so what are the countries that are in the Caribbean Cup? It's Belize, Barbados, Jamaica, Brazil.
You also have Florida.
Florida.
Turks and Caicos, and
that's
Trinidad.
the one I had no idea. What Turks and Caicos? What is that?
It's an island.
Oh, it's an island.
I believe so. I have to. I'm not the best at geography, so I don't want to misquote.
I don't have a map around here, but it better be in the Caribbean. Is kind of what I'm thinking. I count 6. Are we forgetting anyone?
We have 9 total. So we have Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Brazil, Cayman, Florida, Jamaica, Trinidad, Turks and Caicos.
Trinidad. That's the one I forgot. Okay.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Are the Floridians basically, do they own this event? Are they just like kind of beating on everybody every year, or is it a little more or every other year? Is it a little more competitive than that?
Are you talking about to win the event or to?
We're about sports. We're about winning and losing.
Oh no, they have put together some very solid teams with the top players in Florida. Our women are incredible, and they have tryouts every 2 years, about maybe a year and a half beforehand. So they prepare, they have practices, they do tournaments, but they've taken the Caribbean Cup the last 2 events.
The last 2. Oh.
But there's more. If, like, for instance, I don't have all the stats memorized, but on our Facebook page there is a photo album where I took each event starting from, I believe, 1983 or something. In the 80s, I believe I started, to where you can see who won the Caribbean Cup, who won the different stats. Our program pages also list all the players, their accomplishments as of ton 80s, things of that nature. I don't think there's ever been a perfect game, but that will go through and because there's a lot of events. And it's all 501. But Team Florida is very strong again this year. So I know we're going to take the cup.
Is there an actual cup?
Yes.
What does it look like?
It has a wooden base, and it has I'm not sure which plates, I believe we call them, for every country who's won it. And it has a metal cup at the top. There's also a team event trophy as well.
Okay, so there's 2 trophies. Is it like 8 feet tall?
It is not 8 feet tall. I want to say up to 3 feet tall.
Nice. So it's like one of those big, kind of heavy ones that you gotta use both hands to hold up.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. Well, I like that. Yeah, I like that. It's not like how can you? It couldn't be shaped
not like a
the
little,
Caribbean,
little
but
trophy. Yeah.
Is it just like a cup thing with 2 handles on the side, or a handle on each side, whatever?
Yes, it's been a traveling trophy. I'm not sure when this particular trophy was created, but this year we cleaned it up a little bit. We added the Cosmo Darts logo to the top of it, because I believe it has a woman standing up there with the wings, and so it has a little circle. Heineken used to be a sponsor of the event. But
we scratched out Heineken and put Cosmo Darts.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's
all
victory.
it takes is a sticker.
No, it's winged. It's winged victory, like the woman with the wings.
Yeah,
that's winged victory.
Yes.
I think. Goes back to ancient something or other.
What's the format?
The formats, they play different rounds, and according to the schedule, they have team events. They have ladies doubles, men's doubles, ladies singles, men's singles, mixed doubles, and mixed triples. And the youth, as far as I know, will also be playing the singles and the mixed, since there'll be 1 girl and 1 boy from each country.
Yeah, we're going to go through. I actually got the roster today, and I didn't get a chance to look at all the other teams. There were a lot of names I didn't recognize, but we'll be able to analyze this a little bit further next week and kind of handicap it a little bit. But I think Florida right now is a heavy favorite. Heavy favorite. I think Florida's going to wipe the floor with these guys. Do they listen to the show? I don't want to give them bulletin board material. This guy says we're out. Well, too late. No, Florida's got a really strong team. I did, because I know most of the folks on that team. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good team. Now, you're also, Stephanie, your organization is also hosting the WDF America's Cup immediately before the Caribbean Cup?
Actually, the ADO. The ADO, they're responsible for the America's Cup and all the details. What we do is we work together to share the venue, and we figured out our costs for which organization will take care of which part of it. But the America's Cup is solely done by the World Dart Federation and the ADO. We actually don't participate and have anything to do with it.
Okay, and we'll be able to post links to all this stuff, later, like tomorrow or over the weekend or something, to the program. And I understand you're going to be streaming it on the Dart Universe website, the Caribbean Cup.
Yes, that's Tony and Ray. They're going to be streaming it, and this is the first time in the Cup's history that it's going to be live streamed. So we're all very excited. And they're going to be doing it on Ustream, which Dart Universe has a channel. And they're also going to be posting a link on their website. And Tony will be sharing it through Facebook and advertising the links when we're actually going live. And so, because the opening ceremony will be the first event where we go live. And the draw doubles, we're going to hopefully get some matches on the stage. I'm not sure how that part will work, but I know Ray will work that out. And then we're going to do the finals, semifinals, and we plan on doing the quarterfinals, and then the closing ceremony.
Okay, I really wish I could go down for this. We talked about this.
Cool.
We talked about going down there and like doing commentary and stuff, which sadly is not going to happen, and I'm so bummed. But we'll try to cover it as best we can, before and after, and we'll post links to all this stuff so our listeners can find it, because I think it's a very interesting event.
Should be
to
fun
have
to
it
watch
internationally in Tampa, I think is great for everybody. Now, Stephanie, you've actually been able to secure sponsorship not only from Cosmo but from the city of Tampa.
Yes, the president of the FDA suggested that I go speak to somebody, to either Chamber of Commerce. Now in Florida, we have what's called Sports Commission, which is part of the CVB, and each county has their own sports commission. Some of them will sponsor events, and then some of them are sell sponsorship. Tampa happens to be one that does both. And so we were able to meet with them, put together proposals. It took a little bit of, working back and forth, but they agreed to give us a really good sponsorship to help us with our closing events. And I highly recommend it to all of the dart leagues who put on tournaments or want to do any type of sponsor fundraising to help their tournaments out, because the local governments also do grants, and darts is a sport. And the more that we go to our local governments and say, listen, we bring in a lot of money to your economy. We support your local businesses and distribution. We do all these things for you.
She's pounding on the table to get her point across.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, her mic is popping.
And so, I mean, it's if we keep doing this, that's another way to really get darts on the table. So.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, we're going to take one quick break, Stephanie. Stay with us, and we'll talk some more with you. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mystery Mark Steve Panancion, guest Stephanie Mincey from Florida, and it'll be a quick break, and we'll be right back.
forevermore warned that you consume this show at your own risk, and that Dart Talk cannot be brought to justice in any court or by any government, including and not restricted to the grand spaghetti monster of the Triple 20.
Okay, back for the fourth quarter of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
DartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and also a sponsor of the Caribbean Cup.
Yep.
We have Stephanie Mincey with us. And Stephanie, you were telling us about how, individual tournaments should be working with like their local, I'm assuming kind of tourism bureaus and stuff to get financing for tournaments.
Yes. Definitely for the tourist side of it, every state should have a bureau. Sports commissions, I only know of Florida because I haven't researched any other states. But what they will do is they will base your grants on how many number of rooms are sold at the hotel, how much tax you generate, which the hotel will give you a report of the food and beverage sold, the hotel room sold. They also need to know the number of people who came as tourists versus players. Now that's what I have to provide, but I'm sure those who would have to fill out grants for other states would be giving the same information.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra work for the tournament people and for the leagues, but I've always said, they should be getting metrics.
Yeah.
A lot of the tournaments, these people are busting their butts to put these tournaments on. And Stephanie, you could probably talk about how many little things and little details need to get done to make a tournament happen. And here's like one more thing that you're going to throw on their pile. But down the road, if you can show
it's worth it,
that your group every year spends $10,000 here, $5,000 here, 300 hotel nights.
It's increasing every year.
And it goes up every year, and it would be even bigger if we got a little help. I would think that local tournaments especially would benefit from that. You're also you've been in contact with the local news media, I think, Stephanie.
I have, and unfortunately, we've not had much success with the newspaper. Those are very hard to get into. They receive thousands of press releases from all over the place, and we are working with the Sports Commission to try and get get an article in the local paper.
Which newspaper? You have a problem with?
Well, we have the Tampa Bay Times. I
Bay
believe there's
Times.
a newspaper in St. Petersburg as well. So we're going to continue to try to get another article. But the Sports Commission, they're great because they will help you with marketing. They have marketing interns and marketing experts, and they have helped me so much. They helped me with my proposal to send to sponsors, our future sponsors. They helped me put together information for writing a press release because I had never done it prior to this. And so I learned a lot about writing press releases and how to approach your local media. And basically I also bought an ad in their paper as well to help promote the event. Because even though we may not have all dart players, I still want the public to come see our people play.
I think that's the biggest thing that you can do is get non-darters coming in there to watch. Mm-hmm. I think for exposure to the sport, growth of the sport, all those things, I think that's key.
Oh, absolutely.
If you can't get people watching, then we're just stuck in a room with ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So any efforts?
That's one of the biggest reasons why our draw doubles tournament, we are opening it to the public. Because we want everyone to come meet the players from these different countries and to play with internationally known and ranked players. And
do you guys have? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I interrupt just because I can't see you and I can't tell if you're finished or not, and I interrupt anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you could blow that excuse right off.
Right.
I just interrupt.
It just makes it even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another layer of inconvenience for the guest. Do you guys have sports talk radio in Tampa? Have you approached any of the radio stations?
Yes, I have. We have also, it's tough because some of them still do not consider darts as a sport.
Well, I have a solution for that.
Okay.
Here's what you do.
Let's hear it.
Round up 20 people and all call the show at the same time until somebody gets through. Pretend that you're talking about whatever their topic is, and the minute you get on, say, "Oh yeah, well, I'm so happy Lovie Smith is the coach, especially because he's a dart player, and the Caribbean Cup happens to be, coming up, and we hope everyone comes out because all football fans love darts." Even on NFL Network, there's a dartboard, behind the people talking and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? You got to get creative here, Steph.
Right.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. 20 people, you all call at once.
You also have to pay attention to what they're talking about on the show, so you know what.
Do it every day. Dog them. Dog these people until they finally relent and let somebody get on the show and talk about it. See what I'm saying?
Yes,
Radio's
I do.
easy. You believe me, they got a bunch of clowns working there. You can get through. Trust me. I've gotten through. If they'll let me through, they'll let anyone through.
Of course.
Stephanie, we're going to have you back on. We're running out of time, and there's a couple of things we have to get to. Maybe you can come on next week, and we'll have, more intelligent questions for you.
I'm actually playing. I am starting to play darts again now. Everything is done for the tournament. I will be at League next week, but I will give you Malcolm Spicer's information.
Oh, okay. We'll get Malcolm on.
He's been in charge of this event for 20 plus years.
Okay, great. If you can email me Malcolm's stuff, I will effort that immediately.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on, Stephanie. Looking forward to the event, and I wish you all the best. I think it's going to be a great, great, great event.
Thank you. You, Mark, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I have Stephanie Mincey. I think she's from she told me the name of the league, and I totally spaced.
Oh.
But
I would not know.
Yeah, she has done a lot to get this thing going, and to start from scratch, because some of the existing tournaments, you kind of just do what you did last year and maybe build on it.
Exactly, right.
The good tournaments kind of add and subtract, and
can't do that from 10 years ago.
No. So I mean, they've where they've come now, they've secured sponsorship and everything. They've done a marvelous job with this Caribbean Cup. I think. Everyone going down there. And, I didn't get a chance to ask her. See, they're going to stream live.
Mm-hmm.
The opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies, the finals, a blind draw. The A.D.L is going to be in there, and they're not streaming anything. So there's a lot of people like.
Oh, they're
not
streaming the America's Cup at all?
There's been and there's been a lot of kind of discussions, and they had a press release that cleared some stuff up a couple of weeks ago. But to be honest with you, I mean, I don't. For the life of me, understand how these decisions are getting made and all this stuff, because I think it's.
You've been saying that for years.
Well, you know what? I haven't really said much about the A.D.L all year, right? I mean, I just sort of, it is what it is. But I mean, you're hosting an international event, and here the Florida people are able to stream their event, and you're a worldwide national organization, the WDF's worldwide organization, and they can't stream, and the A.D.L can't stream. I'm sorry. I don't see how it's possible when I literally, there's been tournaments streaming all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? You're telling me you can't get it done, then you're not trying hard enough.
That's the thing.
That's my attitude.
It's not a matter of can't. It's a matter of want.
We're going to wrap it up, but we have some news.
We do have some
because you
breaking news, I believe you called it.
Well, you thought the PCS was going away. And
I thought it had gone away.
No, it didn't go away. What happened was, we did the draw live on the show.
I haven't had an update in a while.
Well, we did the draw live on the show, and one of the principles was that the players weren't going to have to spend extra money to go to tournaments to play.
Right.
So I sent messages to everybody. Tell me what tournaments you're going to. Right. Well,
it took a while.
Nashville and Stamford.
Really? Okay.
Everyone's going to Nashville. Everyone's going to Stanford. So
there you go.
I had to figure out. We can't have 10 matches in Nashville. We can't have 10 matches in Stanford, and we can't have matches that aren't getting played, right? So I talked to the tournament director in Nashville, and we actually set firm times for these matches to get played. So Jim Widmer is going to play Ram Guevara because...
Is there a disqualification rule? If somebody's late or...
They'll get it done. I'm not worried about DQing people. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
It's just a question.
Well, no, but I looked at we had to have Jim Widmer and Ram Guevara play because Ram doesn't travel east and Jim doesn't travel west. So it just so happened
that they're in the center.
That Ram is going to make Nashville. So Ram and Jim are going to play, and then we have these play-in matches that have to get played. So one of the play-in matches is Eric Gregory and Ralph McCool.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to play in Nashville. So we have two, and you'll see it on the crawl somewhere down there. We're going to have two matches in Nashville. We're going to have one Friday night at 10 p.m., which will be kind of sort of after the draw starts. So people that go and play the draw, if they get knocked out early, they can watch Ralph McCool and Eric Gregory play.
Okay.
So that's at 10 o'clock on Friday night. And then Saturday, before the four-person event, Jimmy Widmer and Ram Guevara are going to play at 7 p.m. And these are firm times.
And it's going to be streamed.
They're working on the stream.
Hopefully.
They're going to try.
Hopefully.
They're going to try their best to stream it. They're going to be great matches. Ram Guevara took out Leonard Gates in a tournament in Texas. And, I was kind of talking to Stephanie, and I'm like, well, Jimmy Widmer is going to go play the America's Cup and then go play Nashville. So he's going to be, ready to play. And Ram Guevara is kind of like one of these guys that kind of plays both. He's bidartual, right?
Yes,
he plays soft tip and steel. And I'm thinking Ram's going to have his hands full because Jimmy is going to be I anticipate that Jim Widmer is going to have a very sharp game when he comes to Nashville. So that's going to be a great match. And then Eric Gregory and Ralph McCool are two, great Midwestern players. And if you look at their PCS averages, there's like a tenth of a point between them. I mean, they shot like identical averages, like just a hair under 80. So I'm anticipating that those matches, or that match as well, is going to be awesome. So we'll be talking more about this, and we're going to publicize it. But I wanted to let everybody know that
that it's still going on.
Yeah, the PCS is still going on. We have a sponsor and everything. It's just a matter of scheduling the matches when the players are around to play them. And I talked to the tournament people in Nashville, and they're going to help promote it. But we're also setting firm times.
Right.
It isn't like if you're a minute late, we're going to DQ you. But we have to get these matches. You can't promote something at 7 o'clock and then not have it. Or you can't. You know what I mean?
Or it's also hard to promote something.
Oh, we'll be back later. Oh, we'll be back. So we have to get the players to play at these particular times.
Right.
So we took the times. We looked at the tournament flyers, and the tournament people basically kind of told me, well, here's where we want you to do
There's an
them.
opening.
And I'm like, okay, well, that should work. And so Jimmy got first pick because he's the highest-seeded player. Did he want to play Friday night or Saturday night?
He chose Saturday.
I would have put him there anyway because he has further to travel than anyone else, right? So I don't know what time his flight's getting in Friday. Eric and Ralph ought to be able to make Nashville, fairly easily. They're only, they're probably driving. They're only 4 hours away or something like that. So it's going to be great. Two fantastic PCS matches. And then next week we will announce we're going to have two matches in Stamford. And I'm not sure quite how and where those are going to get played yet. But we're going to figure that out and
it's moving along.
That. Yeah, it's moving along. We only have one other problem child. And that is I have to talk to David Flowers, who was one of the winners in the Midland, Michigan PCS match, and see where he can play Elliott Milk. He's going to have his hands full with Elliott.
Yeah.
Elliott's been playing good all year. So we're getting down to once we get down to the top 8 and stuff, we'll be announcing well in advance. I'm asking some of the players that kind of know each other, like Robbie and Gordon, are playing each other. I said, I need 3 weeks' notice so we can publicize it, let everyone know where it's going to be and stuff like that. And as soon as we have firm dates and times, we'll let everybody know. But we're going to try to, be a little, not strict, but, get these matches played where there's you can't tell people you're going to play at 7 and then they come and you don't play.
Yeah.
So
and then
we're going to try to do a little better
play
on
at
that.
9.
Now that we have more time and we kind of know what we're doing, because I was a bit of a knucklehead at the beginning.
What are the dates for Nashville and Stanford?
Nashville is the 25th, 26th, and 27th of July. And if you go to GNDA, Greater Nashville Darting Association, GNDAonline.com, you can see the flyer for the Nashville tournament. Stanford is always like the second weekend in August. And I don't have a flyer for that, but because that's further away, we're going to concentrate on Nashville first. We're going to start taking sign-ups for the second year of the Players Challenge Series probably in 3 weeks. We'll have an online sign-up form. We're not going to limit it to the Canadians will be allowed to sign up. I'm not sure if we're going to lump the women in with the men or not. I'm going to talk to some of the women when I'm in Nashville and see
the best way to work it out.
To be honest with you, I think we'd get more interest with the women playing the guys than we would with the women playing each other.
Probably.
I think would you not want to see Paula Murphy play like anybody that's been in the PCS?
It also depends on how many participants you have.
Well, if we run a separate women's division, I think it'd be easier to have the women play with the men. They've done it before. Stacy Bromberg's played with the men on the PDC side. Brenda Rausch has done it. Marilyn Pop has done it. I don't know if Paula Murphy's done it. I don't know if Shay Reynolds has done it. Trish Grezik. All these women have no problem playing men, and I think they actually get kind of geeked up. And it puts a little extra pressure on the guys that are a little more like, oh, my God, I don't want to play a woman, or, I don't want to lose to a woman, or however that works with people. I mean, the dartboard doesn't know what gender you are. Right? The dartboard just knows what you hit. So anyway, that's our breaking news for the PCS. DartTalk.us is the place to go for PCS news and stuff like that. I will be posting stuff on our Facebook page, but probably the best place to look is on the website, because the way Facebook works these days and everything, they keep changing stuff around. Now they got this weird secret algorithm and all this stuff, and I'm just sort of like, you know what? We got a website. Let's use it.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants PCS news needs to go to Dart Talk US, and there's a link there that says Players Challenge Series with the little logo and stuff. As always, you can listen to the audio on TuneIn.com, on Stitcher.com, on the website, DartTalk.us. We have the archive for the video shows and the audio shows. Sorry about the show a couple weeks ago. We had a glitch. The video's not up, but it'll probably be up over the weekend. What other housekeeping? We'll be back normal time next week.
Same time.
Right?
Yep. Everything's normal right now.
How you liking league? You're about halfway through the season?
We're a week.
How you like
it? I like it.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, it's fun to be back out there playing again. It's good.
I was talking to one of your teammates, and maybe it's just because it was me, but he was sort of apologetic about the level of play. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to play like Phil Taylor. You're supposed to be having a good time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The level of play. I mean, a lot of the people I play against that are still in the league from when I played 4 years ago seem to have digressed.
Yeah, because there's nothing. There's nothing to
there's
play
nobody
for,
to play.
So everybody's just like, and there's no juice. There's no excitement. There's no like.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there. You know
what I mean.
Not a lot of like competition out there, so it's not like everybody's playing each other to improve. It's just like, oh, it's Tuesday, let's go play darts.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's
just sort of like it's flat.
Yeah,
it just seems flat to me.
Right.
And I understand. It's too bad. Cleveland wasn't like that, right? Cleveland, they were into it. They were way more into it than some of these other guys. And I understand it's discouraging and stuff, and it's summer and everything, and summer darts. There's so much other stuff to do.
Summer darts, summer not.
Right. Okay, are we good? Can we wrap it up?
I think so.
Okay, thanks everybody for listening. You can always email us with comments and questions. We got a Facebook page. Just look for Dart Talk. And you can email us, darttalk@gmail.com. For Mystery Mark, Steve Panaziaman signing off. We'll be in the chat for a little bit after the show. And we will Dart Talk you next week. So everybody take care. Thanks for listening.